Yes, you are listening to the Ready, Set, Retire radio podcast with Steve Anzoni. My name is Jessica Forkel. Get more details on the website at fairwayfinancial.net. Steve, my friend, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Lots going on here in the next few weeks. Of course, we have Trump taking office here, and then it's kind of off to the races, right? You and I were kind of talking off the air that he has a lot planned that he wants to get done in the first 100 days of his presidency. I guess really we'll see kind of where the chips fall, where they lay, and what's going to be done and not done, and the promises and everything else.
He's got a aggressive agenda, but which I guess, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We'll see what happens and what he gets done. And obviously, what I care about is how this is going to affect my customers from a financial standpoint.
Sure.
And just to make sure that my customers are aware of what's going on, what he's trying to do, what's passed, what hasn't.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, I just had a very successful seminar Tuesday about that. So it went great. People there were appreciative of me trying my best to figure out what's going to happen in the future. But mainly, as you know, I'm pretty steady Eddie. And I'm like, look, don't let short-term things influence your long-term decision-making. And that has always been the staple of my planning process with people, is to hold the fort, focus on what you're trying to do, and don't reach for the shiny object. And what can you control? Where's your money at? What's the risk in there? Does it meet with your needs? Are you okay with what's going on? That sort of thing. So that's kind of how I've always been, and it's worked. I mean, I've been in this business for over 30 years. So,
yeah, just a little bit, not a big deal.
Yeah.
3 decades.
Yeah, a little
decades.
Well, I started when I was very young. I was 10. No,
10,
just kidding.
exactly. Yeah, but no, you're exactly right. With the new president coming in here, it really is about what you can control. Let's all be honest here. We can't control the market. We can't control what kind of, tax changes he's going to implement, or there's been a lot of talk about Social Security changes coming our way. We cannot control any of that. What you can control is your financial plan, making sure you have a plan in place. So let's dive right into that. Let's talk about, these Trump tax cuts. We've been talking about it forever now. They were never signed in by Congress prior to Trump being elected. Of course, he's already said within his first 100 days, that's one of the things he wants to get signed, sealed, and delivered and get it done. And again, he is promising to extend these Trump tax cuts before they expire. And of course, there's something else he wants to roll out. He's got some other tax ideas. He wants to put everything into one big, beautiful bill. But there's one thing, one big, beautiful bill. And there's one thing that could stand in his way. That, of course, is the cost. Here is Liz Pancotti with the Roosevelt Institute of CNBC.
I think we have a really fragile economy, one that looks okay on paper, but the minute you lift up the hood, it's not great. Trump has proposed $10 trillion in tax changes on the campaign trail between making the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act permanent and, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. $10 trillion is not something you can recover from a debt and deficit standpoint and from an inflationary perspective.
So there you have it. There's one opinion. And listen, as much as we heard on the campaign trail, the promises of this and that, it really sounds like the debate has really just begun, Steve. In the meantime, what can we do now to take advantage of today's low tax rates and, of course, avoid higher taxes in retirement?
Well, I mean, this is the last official year that the taxes are going to stay in place until December 31st if Trump doesn't get it extended. So this is a very, very important planning year for those people who are near retirement, who are in retirement, and especially those who are considering taking Social Security now. So this is a really important year because, A, you've got these Roth conversions to consider. That, again, is a tax strategy in itself, and not just for the future, but for the year that you do it. Because if you do it wrong, it could catapult you into a higher tax bracket and do more damage than good in the short term. So you got to be cognizant of that and want to talk to somebody who's been around the block, who understands the total effect of doing one thing. You hear about that domino effect. And sometimes doing one thing financially will affect other things like the taxability on your Social Security, the taxability on, let's say you're turning 65 and you're considering getting the Medicare. And now you do a conversion that year and your income jumps up by $50,000, $75,000. How is that going to affect your Part B and all this other stuff? I mean, it could be complicated. And that's why, again, I say to people, look, do things, but get good advice from people who've been around for a long time who could advise you independently and say, look, this is a good thing you're going to do. However, be cognizant of how it may affect the other side of the coin, your other taxes and stuff like that. So if you're in that kind of boat where you're thinking of making some moves, but you're not sure if they're going to be the right move overall this year or how it's going to affect you down the road, give us a call at 508-552-3230. That number again is 508-552-3230, or you can jump on our website at fairwayfinancial.net and just let us know. Say, hey, Steve, I listened to the show, and I'd love to talk to you more about strategies, what I can do or should do, and if there's anything out there that's new and that improved that may be able to help my situation.
For over 40 years, public employees with a pension, they were limited to the amount of Social Security benefits they received. And that's, of course, until outgoing President Joe Biden signed the Social Security Fairness Act, restoring all these benefits. But it comes at a big price, like everything. Here's Alexis Christoforous with ABC News.
It is going to add $200 billion to the deficit. And remember, Social Security is already running at a $4 trillion deficit. In less than 10 years, by 2033, it's projected that the government will only be able to pay out 80% of benefits. Some are saying this new legislation may move that timeline up by about 6 months. But critics are saying that future seniors and taxpayers will pay the price for this new legislation.
Interesting here. So, the threat of Social Security solvency, we've been talking about this forever. I think it's going to continue forever as well. How do you help plan now for the possibility that there could be cuts in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there could be. I think ultimately that there will be. And, eliminating this WEP thing, at the end of the term was obviously just politically motivated. And I don't know, $200 billion. I mean, listen, I can't stand the WEP. I think it's terrible to do that to people, especially, you've got these teachers, nurses, firefighters, police, of which my dad was, who got a pension, and then because of that fact that they were part of the government, their Social Security benefits got slashed quite a bit. But to ultimately restore that as if nothing happened, I mean, it's novel. It sounds like a wonderful idea. Don't get me wrong. It's like Trump's big, beautiful bill. It sounds like a wonderful idea, but it all comes down to money and the availability of it. And we're talking about Social Security that has been in crisis mode for, 30 years. And now they're thinking of adding more benefits to people. I don't see it happening yet. Maybe someday it will, but I just think right now the focus has to be on how do we keep it solvent, which I believe it will be, because I've been hearing this since the late 80s and 90s, Jess. This is nothing new to me. It has to be here because so many people in this country depend on it to retire on. That's how important this system is. So it has to be here. It has to stay in some form or another. They might cap some things on us with Social Security, but I don't think it's ever going to go away. I don't think we're going to lose it. And I don't think they're going to figure out a way to add benefits to it. If anything, they're going to figure out a way to maybe tax it even more, add another layer of income, and tax Social Security at 100%. Let's see, if a married couple's at $44,000 of adjusted gross, 85% of their Social Security check, which, by the way, has already been taxed in the past, is getting taxed again. So I think they'll come up with a formula to say, all right, if someone makes $60,000 or $70,000 in retirement, then 100% of the Social Security check will be subject to tax. That's what I think is going to happen more likely than adding benefits back. But it's going to be there. It's going to be a staple. What should someone do to plan for this? Okay, it's to look at where your money is now and ask yourself, is there a way that I can take, and most people right now retire with a 401k, or if you're in the nonprofit world, it's a 403b, right? That to most people is their retirement money. Now, it's not a pension because it's not guaranteed income for life, but that's what people are relying on, Jess. But I think more and more people are going to look at that pile and they're going to say, okay, is there something I can do with some of that money to guarantee future income so that I don't outlive it, so that I can supplement better my Social Security? I think that's the question that people need to be asking. And that's what I've been doing and helping people do for over 30 years. That needs to be the focus. Look at where your money's at and look at alternatives that could put you in a better situation going forward with more guaranteed lifetime income. And if that is something that you're interested in learning more about, give us a call at 508-552-3230. If you're looking to supplement your Social Security income with more guaranteed income to potentially make up for the future shortfall, if you're interested in learning how to do that and provide more lifetime income for both you and if you're married, your spouse, then give us a call at 508-552-3230, or you can visit the website at fairwayfinancial.net and just say, hey, Steve, I listened to the show. I'm interested in learning about how I can supplement my Social Security with more lifetime guaranteed income. And I would love to learn more about that.
I want to continue this conversation here about guaranteed income. It's something we discuss all the time. And it kind of goes along with the conversation that the Fed, they are slowly cutting interest rates. And it's enough that the once high rates that many took advantage of on fixed annuities have come down just a little bit here. So are they still attractive when it comes to guaranteed income, or do we need to consider maybe different types of annuities out there?
They're still pretty high. And ironically, I read The Economist a lot, and I'm seeing some thoughts out there that not only are the Feds going to freeze the cuts on rates, they may, in fact, increase it in the near future, which when I looked at that, I was kind of shocked. Coming from The Economist, which is a source that I trust quite a bit, I didn't take it with a grain of salt. I was like, wow, this could be very interesting to level out the rates and potentially go up a little bit more. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but right now, Jess, I got to tell you, there are different types of annuities out there, like CDs, very popular instrument in banks. People have been doing a lot of CDs the last year because obviously the rates have gone up. Now they've come down slightly, but you can still find them in the fours, on a CD. So people have used CDs as a source of safe alternatives, and now they're finally getting rewarded with some interest. And annuities have similar products to those, and they call them MYGAs, multi-year guaranteed annuity. And as the name implies, they go from 2 years to 7 years, 10 years, whatever term you want to buy, and you can lock in rates for that particular term. Now, the difference is, in the insurance world, annuities, by their very nature, are tax sheltered as opposed to a bank CD, which is not. So if you've got some money that you don't plan on using for a few years, it still may be a great idea to look into those type of products, because for the 2 or 3 year term that you're going to get, you can defer the interest on that money. And if in 2 or 3 years a better offer comes along, you can roll that money out, Jess, into a new one without paying the taxes. That's called a 1035 exchange, and the IRS will allow you to do that, which is pretty cool. So it puts you more in control of when and how you pay taxes. So that option is still very alive and very available. I'm getting a lot of phone calls on those. And the other type of product is, for lack of a better word, a pension annuity, in quotes, meaning that you put your money in, and down the road, whether it's 6 months or a year or 2 years out, it will actually pay you a lifetime guaranteed income for both you and your spouse if you're married. And so that's an interesting design too. And those rates are still high, very high. And I've been in business for over 30 years, and these are still some of the highest rates that I've seen over that time. So it's a very good time to investigate and look into this to see if this is a good fit for part of your portfolio. So if that sounds like something that may interest you, getting the opportunity to get a good fixed rate with deferred taxes, or getting something where you can put a set amount of money today and know exactly what your cash flow and what your income is going to be down the road.
Get more details on the website fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Steve Anzoni is a licensed insurance provider by the Division of Insurance and is not registered as an investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve Anzoni, Massachusetts Insurance License 3851053. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Steve Anzoni is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Steve Anzoni is licensed in your state, please call 508-398-3337.